I think that Robyn definitely has a victim complex. And I don't necessarily blame her for that. I think that, devise different strategies to keep themselves afloat, but
they feel like there was a lot of triangulation.
It's almost laughable how the rest of the family never fully grasped what was happening with sister wives, star Kody Brown and Robyn Brown. Maybe it's because they were too close to see him clearly, still looking at him through the rose-tinted lens of love and loyalty, projecting this romanticized fantasy to explain why he favored Robyn. But then, there's this conversation between Gabe and Janelle that nails the real issue. Kody's relationship with Robyn isn't about love, it's a purely transactional dynamic. It's all about selfishness. Gabe, sharp as ever, points out how Robyn plays the victim card to keep herself in Kody's good graces. It's brilliant, really. She props up his fragile ego, letting him feel like her protector, her savior, and in the process, she pits him against his own children and wives, all so she can siphon off more resources for herself. And Kody, ever the puppet, falls right into it. He's always enjoyed setting his wives against each other, likely thinking this would somehow make the others fall in line. Surprise, it didn't. Here's the kicker. Kody and Robyn themselves laid it all out. Robyn treated him like her best customer. This isn't some great love story. It's a well-oiled machine where Robyn strokes his ego, provides him with services, and gets rewarded financially in return. Kody even had the nerve to say he wanted that same dynamic with Janelle. Lucky for her, she saw through it and is moving on to better things. What blows me away is Gabe's understanding of the whole situation. This kid's emotional intelligence is off the charts. He gets that Robyn's survival tactic is to play the victim, and he sees right through it. At his age, incredible. I can't help but root for him. The fascinating part about Kody and Robyn is just how similar they are. Their entire relationship is built on materialism and transactions. Even their connections with their kids feel like part of the deal. People are just tools to make their lives easier. No real sacrifice involved, just self-serving convenience. They truly get each other. And honestly, Gabe calling out Robyn is pure gold. He's not fooled by her nonsense for a second, and I love that for him. Oh, and the whole best customer line? That wasn't just some snarky joke from the internet. It came straight from Robyn herself. She actually admitted to treating her husband like a client. On TV, no less. What a role model for her daughters, right? Just wow. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. My favorite part of the whole mess. Sister Wives star Kody Brown, the guy who insists his wives have natural births. And let's not forget Robyn's gem about how women should stay as quiet as possible during childbirth, as a sign of respect to their god or something. Really? I've been through unmedicated childbirth myself, and trust me, quiet wasn't even on the table. Imagine enduring the intense trauma of childbirth, only to be told you're somehow disrespectful for making noise while in excruciating pain. Absolutely unreal. Additionally, rewatching old episodes of Sister Wives is like peering into a reality TV crystal ball, so many moments foreshadowed the chaos that would follow. Robyn, from the start, was clearly the wrench in the family machinery. When she was being courted, Christine didn't mince words. She's tearing the family apart. And honestly, Mary wasn't much better. Remember that budget discussion where she said, "My kid gets what she wants because she's my only one." Sure, she backtracked with a "just kidding," but I think we all knew it wasn't a joke. Those early episodes had all the drama we see now written all over them. From day one, Robyn made it crystal clear she was looking for a honeymoon experience with Kody. The rest of the wives just laughed, claiming it was impossible. Fast forward a decade, and lo and behold, she's still living her fairy tale, just in a different dimension. Robyn came into the picture over 20 years late, and naturally, she was on the hunt for trouble. When she didn't find any immediately, probably because everyone was on their best behavior, she decided to create some. "Oh, my kids are struggling," she lamented during an early talking head, to which Mary shot back, "All the kids are struggling." Classic. Robyn just shrugged it off, saying, "Oh, I know." If Mary had kept that energy going, maybe things would have turned out differently. But instead, Robyn's exaggerated claims about her kids have only gotten more outlandish. Somehow, she's forgotten that her children entered an already established family. Now she spins this tale about her kids being abused by the others, even though they seemed perfectly fine on the show and had only positive things to say about Aurora and Dayton. The older kids continuously try to include Robyn's children in their lives, but they're met with rejection every single time. No weddings, no baby showers, no engagement parties. They just don't show up. And every time something begins to bloom, Robyn swoops in to ruin it, whether it's with their biological dad or Kody's other kids. She's like the black cloud hovering over any potential connection. And now her kids are out there spreading that message, doing real damage to relationships. It's like Robyn is the queen of drama, always on the lookout for new problems. Now she's left with only Kody and her kids. They can't pin the blame on everyone else for their day-to-day issues anymore. But you better believe they'll still find a way to blame Christine for their failed relationships and financial woes. Thanks, Christine. Also, can you just imagine how different things would have turned out if every time Kody turned to the camera, giddy with excitement over something he said or did, the production team had shot him a look and said, "You're in a shithole." I mean, there must be hundreds of moments throughout the seasons where he thought he was just so entertaining, so funny, so charming, when in reality, he was just living in a fantasy world. And what if, instead of letting him rewrite history or spout off his latest lie, they pulled up clips of what he actually said? Honestly, the show would have been canceled ages ago. Having worked in television, mostly in documentaries but also in reality shows like Sister Wives, I can tell you that there's no producer who wants to keep their job that would ever do that. Sure, they might roll their eyes behind his back or even laugh about it in private, but you'd never confront the talent like that, no matter how ridiculous they are. It's all about maintaining that delicate balance, keeping the drama alive while avoiding the kind of honesty that would send the whole thing crashing down. Furthermore, Sister Wives star Kody Brown's slander of his original 13 kids is truly mind-boggling. Does he not realize how terrible it makes him look to constantly speak poorly of his children on national television? It's one thing to vent to your friends. It's another to air your dirty laundry in front of millions. He blames the wives for the supposed alienation, yet when he calls his kids liars, gossips, and disloyal, that's a direct reflection of him as a father. Let's be real, you raised them, Kody. Are you really putting all the blame for the OG-13's behavior on the wives? Taking credit for anything good, while blaming the moms for everything bad. It's ridiculous. How can he speak about his children in such a derogatory way and not see that he bears some responsibility for the traits he claims to dislike? Maybe if he thinks all of his kids are terrible, it's time for him to take a good hard look at his parenting. It's almost as if Kody can't fathom why the world doesn't see things from his perspective. He genuinely seems to believe he's been wronged by everyone. He might sense that the audience is against him, but instead of reflecting on why that might be, he resorts to trash-talking everyone else in hopes of swaying public opinion. Spoiler alert, it's not working. He's too entrenched in his victim mentality to grasp the reality of the situation. And let's talk about how he talks about his kids, or rather, how he doesn't. He rarely addresses them as individuals. Instead, he lumps them all together with a sweeping generalization like, "All of you are just jerks." That's not just unfair, it's downright cruel, especially to Savannah and Truly, who have done nothing wrong. Really, Kody? Are Aspen and Isabel and Mikelty all jerks too? He's made it clear he doesn't want to be a father to the OG-12 anymore. He communicates this constantly, both through his actions and his words. It's disheartening to watch a parent willingly step back from their kids while throwing them under the bus at the same time. However, cancel Sister Wives star Kody Brown. Seriously, celeb gets canceled for doing or saying far less than the ignorant, misogynistic garbage he's been spouting. It's time to start a cancel Kody trend. Honestly, I'd be all for watching the show without him and Robyn. Their absence wouldn't change much. Just imagine the OG wives retelling family events without Kody's chaotic influence. That's basically what we're getting now anyway. Kody doesn't deserve to be on TV, making money off his abusive and horrendous behavior. So let's rally together and see how many likes we can get. Can we make this trend on multiple platforms? Let's scare him a little, because remember, the only thing that truly frightens him is the thought of poverty. Let's make that his worst fear a reality. Oh, Sister Wives star Kody Brown, the king of entitlement. He's been coasting through life with that smug attitude, avoiding any real financial responsibility for his kids, while also ignoring Mary and Janelle when it comes to repaying them for their contributions to the family, or should we say, Robyn's family. And let's not forget his infamous money mismanagement. He's consistently late on paying the land taxes for Coyote Pass. What a gem! But it looks like his luck is about to run out. If Kody is finally ordered to pay child support and those pesky arrears for Truly and thinks he can just slip through the cracks, he's got another thing coming. He could lose his driver's license or even end up in jail. That's right, folks. Utah has the power to initiate actions that can suspend or revoke a driver's license in another state for anyone who owes child support arrears. Now, let's be real. If Kody thinks he can ignore court orders or has a history of non-payment, Utah will have a warrant out for his arrest faster than he can say, "I'm a victim." Thanks to the Uniform Interstate Family Support Act, UIFSA, Utah will be coordinating with Arizona to haul him in. Yep, they'll detain him and arrange for his extradition back to Utah. And just to clarify, if Kody is ordered to pay child support, we're not talking about mere arrears here. Oh no, we're talking about 4 years of retroactive payments. There's a big difference, Kody. But wait, it gets even better. It's not just his driver's license that's at risk. We're talking all of his licenses. If he needs any special permits for his gun business, those will be canceled too. Good luck getting through life without those. His passports? Say goodbye to them. And any auto licenses he has? Yeah, they're on the chopping block as well. Looks like it's time for Kody to face the music. Maybe this will finally teach him a lesson about entitlement. Plus, the differences between Sister Wives star Kody Brown and Gabe couldn't be more stark. Just take a look at the recent episode where Gabe came over and offered to cook breakfast. It was such a kind, thoughtful gesture, showing genuine care for his mom. Then there's Kody, who thought it was hilarious to take a bite out of his wife's breakfast burrito and smugly declare to the camera, "What's hers is mine." Honestly, that's just repulsive. He came off as a thoughtless, entitled asshole. I really don't think Gabe could ever forge a meaningful, fulfilling relationship with Kody. Unlike Savannah, who seems okay with the idea of a Disneyland dad, Gabe idolized the man he thought Kody was when he was younger. Now, that illusion is shattered, and I can't imagine him wanting anything to do with Kody's self-serving behavior. Looking ahead, I don't see a future for Kody and any of his children after he went on national television and called them assholes while trash-talking their mothers. For years, Kody has claimed to be a religious man, but it seems he conveniently forgot the part in Galatians that says, "God is not mocked, for you reap whatever you sow." Well, Kody, it looks like you're about to reap a hefty crop of bad juju, and frankly, you deserve it. Let's face it, Kody is selfish. He would let his wives and kids starve just to keep extra food for himself. He's a narcissist, and we'll probably never know the full extent of his behavior and everything he's done. There are no redeemable qualities here. Kody is all about Kody. He doesn't even truly love Robyn or her kids. He's just saying the right things at the moment. Once that stops, he'll treat them the same way he treats everyone else. And let's not forget the time he gobbled up Gwen's pudding, snatching food right out of his hungry kids' mouths. Coming from a big family, I know how it feels to have to share and hope for seconds that never come. Gwen likely grew up with less than she wanted, and to see Kody grab her bowl and scarf down half of her food was infuriating. And stealing food from his poor mama, he can't help but intrude on their spaces, take their attention, and eat their food. It's like he's a power-hungry jerk who thrives on taking from others. Additionally, I found myself feeling more sympathetic towards Sister Wives star Meri Brown. I started to question why I disliked her in the first place, but after rewatching earlier episodes, the reasons became painfully clear. Meri is often just mean. Half the time she interacts with anyone, except Robyn, she's either insulting them, lecturing them, yelling, crying, weaponizing her infertility, or telling them how to act differently. While it's true that all the wives can be mean to each other at various times, from seasons 1 to 7, Janelle and Christine were supportive and nice to Meri about 95% of the time, whereas Meri was rarely kind in return. Take the time when she playfully smacked Leon on the face. Leon asked her to stop twice, but she ignored them. The third time, Leon yelled, "Stop," and forced her hands away from their face before stomping off. Meri then rolled her eyes and declared that Leon was mean. Seriously? Or consider Meri's comments about childbirth. She admitted she wasn't excited about Truly's birth, but was about Solomon's. What kind of message does that send? Then there's the moment when Robyn was complaining about bad Braxton Hicks contractions, and Meri yelled at her to stop complaining and just be grateful. I'm not a fan of Robyn either, but she was clearly in pain and making a completely normal comment. When Janelle and Christine were discussing their financial struggles and heartbreak over not being able to provide for their kids, Meri laughed and said, "Well, Leon is an only child, so they get whatever they want, whenever they want it." Really? They were talking about feeding their kids, and you're laughing because you get to spoil yours with Janelle's money. After moving to Las Vegas, Meri chose a house farthest away from everyone, even when there was a house next to Robyn available, and then complained about feeling removed from the family because they didn't visit enough. Robyn lived just 4 houses away from Christine, and Janelle was only 3 or 4 blocks away. If Meri had picked the house next to Robyn, I'm sure things would have been different. Not only did she request changes to the house build in Las Vegas, but she was also extremely late getting her paperwork in. Kody, Janelle, and Mona had been begging her to submit it, but she just didn't, for no apparent reason. This delayed the closing, and instead of taking responsibility, she blamed everyone else, including Leon, who was understandably upset. I think Meri could have been an entirely different, much happier person if she hadn't been raised in a cult and married at 19. She grew up without truly knowing who she was outside of the beliefs instilled in her. I don't think polygamy was ever her calling, but she lacked the courage to reject it, which set her on a path filled with unhappiness. Don't get me wrong, she's still not my favorite. One of the biggest things that bugs me is her complete glossing over and lack of accountability regarding the catfishing incident. And let's not even get started on her obsession with a wet bar and disdain for circles. However, I can now understand how she became the person she is today. There's a lot going on psychologically, and it's definitely more than therapist Nancy can handle. However, Sister Wives star Robyn Brown, why? What's the deal with you? Do you derive some twisted joy from the suffering of others? Is your own insecurity so profound that you can only find happiness when everyone around you is in pain? You're practically a villain in your master plan to dismantle the family unit, all while playing the victim card. Seriously, what's so rotten in your world that you feel the need to be rude, mean, and downright nasty to everyone. Enlighten me, please? Oh, wait, I'm glad I can't, because that would mean I'd have to relate to you, and gross. Robyn is the poster child for misery loves company. She's a walking disaster, constantly miserable, paranoid, and scared. And guess what? She's more than happy to project all that negativity onto everyone around her. No wonder her poor daughters are caught in her sorrowful web instead of leaping into the world as vibrant young women ready to seize the day. Let's not forget her little doomsday cult either. Of course, they preach that life is a terrifying place filled with danger and doom, so instead of embracing adventure, those full of life are told to prepare for the impending rapture. What a pep talk! Robyn's lived her whole life without a single person daring to challenge her childish antics. The other wives spent over a decade pretending her behavior was acceptable. Those brave enough to confront her, like Maddie, were told their brains were still developing. Every time someone even hints at delivering a little constructive criticism, she bursts into tears, making it all about her. Suddenly, the person trying to speak up feels like the villain for just trying to have a conversation. Take that one time in Season 7 when they were pitching NSWC. Robyn fretted about crying during the investor meeting, and Christine chimed in with, "No, crying is great. It shows you're passionate." This nonsense only reinforces Robyn's belief that her antics are perfectly fine because everyone around her has encouraged this behavior for years. Even her mom jumps in, validating her poor choices by dubbing her the Brown family scapegoat. It's never about her taking a good hard look in the mirror or owning up to how her actions are dismantling the family. Moreover, is it just me, or has this question never really been asked? I swear I heard it somewhere, maybe a podcast. Anyway, here goes. Does Robyn actually believe people are crying with her during those emotional episodes? I mean, come on. She only sheds tears when she's watching herself cry. Never does she seem moved when someone else is sobbing. When she's on screen, it's an Oscar-worthy performance. But when she watches others, she's as stone-faced as a statue. I can't help but think back to that incredibly staged puppet show in the first episode. It's painfully obvious that she's fully aware of how hated she is by the public. I can just picture a PR team brainstorming how to spin her image yet again, trying to convince us that Robyn cares about anyone other than herself. Newsflash, it only backfires and makes us dislike her even more. Honestly, Robyn is irredeemable at this point. There's not a single thing she could say or do to make this situation any better. Just think about the lives she's obliterated. Her ex-husband, his entire family, her children, 3 adult women, their 13 kids, and even Kody. It's mind-blowing how she's managed to blow up their lives. Talk about a train wreck. Also, justice? Forget it. Thanks to Sister Wives star Kody Brown's epic narcissism, we'll never see him admit to any real wrongdoings or take accountability for his actions. He's like a toddler with a tantrum, ready to burn down everything and anyone around him just to settle a score. He'll never think he's at fault, he'll never seek genuine therapy, and he'll definitely never believe he's done anything wrong. It's mind-boggling to think that 8 billion people could be wrong, and he's the only one who's right. So frustrating, right? Here's how I see it. Kody is miserable. From what we see on the show and catch on social media, he absolutely loathes his life. He's angry at everything and everyone, strutting around like a bitter old man who feels entitled to so much more than he actually has. His kids openly dislike him, and many have gone no contact. Let's not forget he's never even met several of his grandchildren. This isn't the life he envisioned, nor is it the one he still believes he deserves. In a twisted way, that's our justice. As for Mary, Janelle, and Christine, yeah, don't hold your breath for any financial justice for them. Sure, they've moved on and seem to be thriving, but let's be real, much of the profit from the first 50 years of their lives, including Janelle's inheritance and retirement savings, was basically stolen by Kody and Robyn. And Robyn, please. She's hardly worked a day in her life, but now she's sitting pretty with all the assets, set to inherit everything for herself and her kids. It's absolutely nuts. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.